Super duper clean when I pull up. When I pull up, I start to see my dreams. Yeah, Essex on my feet when I pull up. When I pull up.
And talking to that, like something that you mentioned was about when you start in what you do, you want it to be organic. You want it to feel like it's something that's normal. You know?
Yeah.
Like even the conversation.
Yeah.
Would that is that how you kind of see like your entrance into music? You know, because like a lot of people were introduced to you musically. With regards to
the group and all that.
Exactly.
The group situation, I'd say, like how we came in, it was scripted.
Yeah.
It thinking about it now, like where I'm at now as a man. Well, actually, where I've been at since, like for instance, Cash Time.
Yeah.
The group thing was very scripted, so to in a way, because first of all, we were not a group.
Yeah.
To start off with, we had to form a group because we just didn't have enough capital to launch our careers at the same time. So I've always been a solo artist and all that.
Yeah.
So that alone says there's like an overseeing eye, you know, without trying to sound like, you know, Illuminati and all that, but like there was like an overseeing eye that says, all right, cool, so we're gonna play this movie out like this. You know, we're gonna start you off like this, and then when the label came, for instance, when we got signed, late 2005, and then we dropped the first album in 2006. When we got signed and we had finished recording, the label came and said, we're gonna release Chance as the first single.
Siyakhipha yi-weekend efana plaza emfimbini ngihudula igushesha insimbi yamahumusha mpintshi ngilikhombe sabapini awunoma bangathini bandahinyo omelikhekhe.
And in our minds, we were talking other records on that album, right? And then the label just said, boys, this is what we're going with. And remember, at that time, it was Kwaito was at its peak. You feel me? They had the Booga Love joint that was making the rounds, the Tubula joint.
Tubula. Yeah, that was huge.
El Volvo was fucking shit up. So we were skewed, and the album was gonna come out in the third quarter of the year. So, and that's when a lot of the Kwaito guys started firing off. The records that are gonna rock out in December are coming out at that time because they wanted just like, boom, I don't want to corner the market. And then here we are coming out with this conscious record. It felt really like, weird. You understand what I'm saying?
But just to stop you there, because you said like even the way that the group started wasn't necessarily something that just happened. It happened out of circumstance. But now the first part is that in the back of your head, you know that KO should be a solo artist. How does the group dynamic work? How do you guys first and foremost make it work?
The beautiful thing about it is we were friends before becoming a group. You know, we were just like niggas that were like rapping together from varsity and all that shit, right? And then suddenly now, as we're chasing our individual dreams, and then, you know, the powers that be decide this is how we're gonna have to move. And I'm saying this not because I'm trashing all that stuff, because even with us rocking out with Chance, it gave us a better chance, you know, pardon the you know what I mean? The best chances for us to stand out in the midst of that whole noise, because everyone was just trying to make people dance and this, that, and the third, right? And then that record just like stuck out, and because of the emotional content and just like how it just hit different. You feel me?
I think maybe it was something in retrospect that you look at now and you go, okay, we wouldn't have gone out with that track. They knew a little bit more than us. You kind of almost like had to humble yourself and go, actually it was cool. They had that on them. Do you think a lot of young rappers make that same mistake and go, I know this thing. I'm the guy.
You know, not even as a young rapper. Like artist, period. You know, you can even be in the game for mad years, but like, might fuck around and make the wrong call because you are way too attached to your own product. You're not seeing this shit like from a consumer's perspective. You feel me? You know the whole saying about like how when you're too close, you need to step away from an elephant for you to see it in its entirety. You feel me? So I learned that a couple of years ago. I've made my own calls on certain songs, and the shits took off. But I've also made calls, and you know, it came back and it just like fell flat.
Most of us are emotional. Like You get your heart broken, like, because when you drop something and you feel that it's not popping off as much as you wanted it to. You feel that rejection.
Yes, sir.
But also what I enjoy and I've watched about your career is that you're very good at if it's not working, you tried, let's move on. Like you move on pretty quickly. And taking it back then to the group days, you know, it must have been very difficult at that point where you have to go, okay, I have to let go and move on and do my own thing. You know? I think a lot of artists as well get stuck in the memory of it, the sentiment of
it. Nigga, let me tell you.
How do you make calls like that?
Let me tell you about the group situation, for instance. I was not cool. I mean, we had accomplished so much as a group, 4 albums deep and all that, right? When we officially embarked on our solo endeavors, that was not by choice. I was always on some because at the time, even leading up to that, like there was I had done features and was like God's Will and Rolling, and like folks heard them shit and was like, oh shit, I want to hear this nigga alone. But like I never fell for it. You feel me? Because I was so committed to the group, and I just felt like whatever happens out there, even if I were to dare step in that direction, I'm gonna be straight. But what's gonna happen to my brothers? That's always how I was wired. Now, unfortunately, things just started playing out in a way that wasn't favorable to that idea anymore. Because, for instance, like Dugza became the first person that was daring enough to explore the solo thing, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn. So like I'm looking like a bitch out there in these streets because there's been a call for me to do shit, but this nigga gonna bust out and do the shit first. You feel me? So I'm like, alright, cool, let's try this, you know? And that's when I made the first joint I did on my own, Mission Statement.
See, I've always been the type to follow my intuition. Sweetie, you say you think about me. Television. I'm on a mission, baby. What they really want from me.
And you can even hear when you listen to it now, right? I still hadn't found my groove yet, like the cadence. Like when you listen to
it was still patchy, but it was dope. It felt nicely with the beat because the beat is itself.
Yes, sir. And like when you listen to the first album, Scanner Republic, like sonically, going all the way down to the last song, you can kind of hear that like that record, Mission Statement, is different from the rest of the other records. You feel me? And there was just me still trying to find my feet, and then I was fortunate enough to find my groove with the second single, which is obviously Kara Kara, right? And once I saw that formula working, then I just like started building.
But what's crazy about it, like it's nice to actually hear this because someone who bought the album as it came out.
Yes, sir.
I remember I listened to the album over and over because it was like such a much awaited drop.
Yes, sir.
Everyone was like, yo, we're about to drop.
Yes, sir.
And Mission Statement, what it did for me, funny enough, as a listener, was that on one side you can hear that it's experimentational.
Yeah.
So then suddenly your whole ear starts listening to the whole album like that. So you're not judging the track for a song. You're going, oh, where are we going?
Yeah. Got you.
But then when you work on music like that, right, and you decide I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah.
Now everyone's trying things around you, you know. But like I said, there has to be a point where you decide, okay, cool, there's gonna be negative energy with this thing.
Yeah.
When do I cut it off and move on? Because, like you said, you're very much orientated in taking your brothers with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're very much orientated in making sure that everyone else benefits first.
Yeah.
But then it becomes lonely when you're just okay.
Bro. Okay, cool. So, again, with that concept in mind of building together, regardless of where I'm at as a man. That's why I created the Cash Time Life platform, because I felt like, cool, I know I'm gonna be alright. You know what I mean? Regardless of what happens, but let me create this situation and then let my brothers come through as well and be part of that. And then while I'm moving, they can also, you know, create their own situation, right? And unfortunately, you know, Nduza was the one person that just felt like he didn't want to be part of that fold. And then we continued building with my E and him. And then later on, like a year or two later, 2016, and then that's where like everyone started peeling off from the Cash Time situation.
Nomuzi Mabena is no longer with the label.
I'll be forever grateful to KO, my E, and Dugza for that platform.
This wise, yeah, man, like I felt like I was in the background. I wasn't a priority anymore. That's why I had to step out.
And I felt like, cool, I've done my part to the universe. Like I've opened doors, I've blessed other people with my blessing, you know, shared my blessing with other people. Maybe actually what's crazy is there was a gang of people that were actually even saying all kinds of things that like, who were speaking out against me creating the Cash Time thing. They were like, my nigga, like, you the guy, just go do this thing and, you know, focus on you and boom, 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 right? And I was like, nah, but I'm not wired like that. You know, let me do this situation. And then boom, the shit falls flat. And then I'm getting all this backlash now. And then niggas are like, we told you about the shit.
What I find interesting about that is that as the person who is the giver in this case, you know, like, because what I'm hearing over and over is that like you enjoy creating those spaces where other people can thrive as well.
Yes, sir.
Know? And then you create it doesn't work out. You recreate it doesn't work out. And you try. You know, like I mean, some of these things are on social media, they document it. That's not really the focus. But at some point you gotta make a call and say, yo, I'm done.
I made that call. I made that call when I was working on my second album. You know, I felt like I was literally alone, and you can hear it on that project that like, alright, cool, this is just the dude that's just coming out of his own vacuum, and this is how he sees the world, you know, and that's where I was at. And to me, as much as like I love that project, I just felt like somehow I had shortchanged my own vision by playing that way. You know, I was not comfortable in being alone yet. It was too soon, right? And then when I was working on this last one, P2Y Unlimited, I was still alone, but it wasn't like the guy that was alone on some cool, so fuck the world, but it was a guy that was alone by choice to say, alright, so I'm gonna create this masterpiece. I'm gonna go out to the world and pick up whatever I'm picking up, come back and apply. You know what I mean? And just get all this energy from out there, so that like when this shit comes out, people are able to resonate with it from all different walks of life, you know? And I've also seen how by opening my door and my platform to other people, how it's also beneficial.
Now, the thing that that fascinates me about how you put the music together, And I don't want us to skip the first album because I think like it deserves quite a lot more because it had so many shades and colors.
Yes, sir.
And I think it was like such a big monumental moment for like rap in South Africa where guys, I think it kind of like reset the clock. Guys could go back and
golden era for SA hip hop.
2014,
2015.
Yeah, you know, like it was. Guys could go back and rap in Vernac again. Guys could put themselves on boom bap beats again. You know, guys were experimenting a bit more. You know, when you look at that moment now, like in terms of like SA rap, you know, I like to look like I think one day like when we start capturing like our history as musicians in South Africa, we'll have like this crazy fucking family tree of things that have happened. You know, like for me like. I remember the first time that I heard pro rap, for instance. You know, like guys were traveling from different parts of the country. You know, to go to Soweto to check this guy out because it was still like this underground thing.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
For me, that was like a huge moment. You know? I rate the first album in that first 5 moments. You know, what are other moments for you, like in terms of like SA rap, because you've seen it all?
I mean, I mean, regardless of the fact that I was part of that wave, that time was just different. Bro. That was something I had never seen, even having been in the game for so long. And we've had highs as the group, as Tear Gas, but it was the group benefiting. It wasn't the culture looking like, oh shit.
Now, a lot of guys now, I sometimes feel like having been a scholar of hip hop as I grew up. You know, I got to watch all of the different scenes, and it somehow feels like this scene is not like that. You know, it's not one that goes.
You mean
I need to take some.
You mean the current one?
Yeah, the current one. Like
it's been like that since the spike ended at the end of 2015, bro.
And then
since then, personally, like as a fan, right? I feel like since 2016, the last two superstars that came out since that era was MT and Nasty. Right? There hasn't been another artist, and I'm not talking down on maybe the Reeses or the Shane Eagles. There hasn't been another artist that has impacted the culture the same way as those guys did, because those guys impacted the culture the same way as Casper, aka, and you know, Ricky, KO, Questa, this, that, and the third. So we need more guys coming in for this shit to feel exciting again. But a lot of us, I feel like, not to suspect, I feel like the labels themselves are just not, they don't know what they're doing.
You kind of like feel like the scene now, like guys are creating a lot of the same music. The message is very much the same. It's the same mood. It's very sad at points, you know. But what I'm trying to arrive at is that how do we shift it?
I don't know about everyone else, but I'm about to shift it. Like, I'm not saying KO's music, so, like my music only. No, I'm intentional about the shit. That's why I have gone back to the label situation again, right? Where I have a platform. I want to put out as many artists as possible through this situation that I'm building now. And my whole thing is just, I don't care about the known guys or like the existing artists or the pre-existing dudes. I'm focused on these new guys, because I get on Twitter and, you know, click on some of these links and engage, and I'm like, oh shit, there's this, there's that, you know, that deserves to be given the platform, you know, for it to really blossom and become what it's supposed to be. So personally, that is something that I'm now intentionally really embarking on yet again. You know, people have seen me opening doors before. I'm going back right into that, and that's why the Kind of World platform exists. You know, we want to put out as much new talent as possible, because I think we are really, the culture is starving, and it's starving for the next big thing. You know, and we can only do it if the labels are struggling with all the money that they have, they're not willing to take the leap and be like, I'm gonna go find some kid from out the trenches. I know he doesn't know anything about the business or whatever, or even just building himself, but he's got mad talent. So we're gonna develop that.
Let's flip it for a second as a parting shot. I think that the guys themselves need to do something, you know, because when I look back, no one came and found KO and said, hey, you deserve to rap and you are great and we're going to develop you. There's that part where you got to play, you know, and if I'm watching, I'm listening, what do I do to do my part to making this thing come right again?
If the game, or if like the underground scene is a classroom, stick your fucking hand out, bro. Cause we're not seeing you, because everyone is pretty much the same height. Stick your hand out, you know, and I'll find you. Again, as much as I'm intentional about doing this shit, they also need to be intentional about it, you know. If you need to get my attention, do what you need to do. Don't fucking stalk me though, like, but do what you need to do. So if you are not built on that level, where your self-esteem gets crushed by one comment out of like 1,000 comments that are like bigging you up, and then someone says, yo,
and you give it that attention,
and then you just meditate on that level. When you just the level of criticism that you get from that point, it needs to turn you into the beast, and that needs to be the battery on your back to say, all right, cool, homie said this, I'm gonna go and work on my shit again, and then bust out, and then probably a couple of months from now, I want to hear what he has to say now.
Thank you so much for chatting with us, bro. I think one thing that I'm learning as I'm listening to you is that, one, take your people with you, like wherever you go, you know.
The right ones.
The right ones.
The right ones.
Absolutely. And
See,
don't be scared to let go of the bad ones.
Do not be afraid, like you're saying, to let go of folks like that. And also, I've learned a lot from my own journey, and also studying other people, and where I'm at right now, besides just me improving my craft and all that, and increasing my stock as an entrepreneur, I also really wanna like now be more vested in just doing philanthropy stuff.
In closing, I just want to say to you, like, we appreciate the music, we appreciate everything that you're doing for the scene, you know, and however we can help explode that.
Yes, sir.
You know, we're there to help as well, and we appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you, Maji. I'm gonna bring out the rest of the family's kind of world. I have a new artist right now called Loki. He's got a record that's coming in about a week or so. Look out for that. And my E is also dropping a record. He's part of the family as well, by the way.
Oh, that's dope.
There's Mauritian, you know, Mauritian from Jamali.
Oh wow.
We're building with her as well. So we're just gonna continue building this shit, bro. Like, and I have a couple of new guys you've never even heard of that are just like a bunch of beasts. I'm not looking for the best rapper. I'm looking for artists. Bro. You know what I mean? And entrepreneurs. So we're gonna align somewhere, somehow. The universe has its way of working its magic, and Skanda World is the new outlet, the new energy, and we wanna brand this whole entire decade moving forward and become the powerhouse that I think we can be. You feel? Yes, sir.
Bro, thank you.
One time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, bro.